Hey nerds, today we're talking about General Grievous and how his character can be fixed for future Star Wars stories. If you are a fan of General Grievous like I am, then you'll be happy to know that his last canon appearance was a huge leap in the right direction. In the Star Wars comic Age of Republic General Grievous, written by Jody Houser, there were certain references made that recanonized certain facts from his Legends backstory. I referred to what those were in my last video about General Grievous, so if you haven't seen that already, I recommend checking it out. To keep improving General Grievous, all Disney needs to do is give him a good archetype to follow, such as one based in Greek mythology. Take Darth Maul, for example. When they brought Maul back in to Star Wars in the Clone Wars series, George Lucas decided to base his character on Sisyphus from Greek mythology. In short, if you're not familiar with Sisyphus, he was cursed to roll a rock up a hill, but whenever it would get close to the top, it would roll back down and he would have to start all over again for all eternity. For Maul, this meant that no matter how successful he was at establishing his criminal empire or getting vengeance on Kenobi, it would always be taken from him or escape him at the last moment. For General Grievous, a good choice would be the swift-footed and ever-prideful Achilles. Achilles only had one mission, to prove he was the best warrior. General Grievous is equally single-minded, though his mission is to kill all the Jedi. This hubris can be woven into Grievous's character while combining his Legends origins, but can also still honor the revisions that George Lucas made to his character. In Legends, Grievous hates the Jedi because the Republic sided with a different alien species, the Huk, which had invaded his home. On his home planet Kali, it was ravaged by the Huk, and the Jedi helped them do it. Thus, General Grievous's hatred for the Jedi was born. This was a great backstory, but Lucas disliked it because it made George Lucas into a tragic character, and he didn't want the audience to feel sympathy for General Grievous. So for that reason, George Lucas changed his backstory from his homeworld being ravaged to General Grievous once wanting to become a Jedi, but was rejected by the Jedi Order. Personally, I think that's a petty excuse, but it can actually work if we apply this Achilles archetype to General Grievous. There can still be a war on Kali, and Grievous could be fighting to defend his people. But this time the Republic decides to aid the Kaleesh. They were, after all, just defending their home. The Jedi would come and help, and then a young Grievous would see these warriors using lightsabers to cut everything before them and a mysterious power to shove opponents without even touching them. Grievous, ever the proud warrior, would strive to compete with them, but he just can't. This mystical power, the Force, is too strong. At the end of the war, he would ask to join them, but the Jedi would still reject him for two reasons. First, he lacks a sufficient midichlorian count, and second, Grievous is too savage in battle to be inducted into the Order. This would now be the reason General Grievous hates the Jedi. Despite humbling himself to ask for their training and acknowledging they were better than him, he was still rejected, the finest warrior of the Kaleesh. At first, Grievous would put himself into dangerous and almost suicidal circumstances to prove himself, but it wouldn't be enough. Eventually, he will start experimenting with cybernetic enhancements to make himself even stronger and make him the best warrior in the galaxy. Besides, his body was one of the reasons the Jedi rejected him, so what use was it? Personally, I think this backstory is a perfect balance of Legends and George Lucas's revisions. There is still a battle on his homeworld that exposes him to the Jedi, but instead of hating them for destroying it, he hates them for being better than him and not sharing their power. This simultaneously shows General Grievous is full of hubris and allows us, the audience, to understand him while not having any sympathy for him. I am not sure how or when the story could be told, but maybe if Disney ever decides to make a series about how each villain was recruited by the Sith, I think that would be really awesome. You could expand the roster to include Darth Maul, Count Dooku, and other Star Wars villains, so that way you can fill out the series. As much as I would love it for it to be entirely focused on General Grievous, I understand that's unreasonable, because after all, General Grievous isn't even the most popular Star Wars character. But what do you guys think? Does this origin story work for Grievous, or is it better to just stick with Legends? As always, I hope you enjoy this video, and maybe even opened your eyes to how Disney still has the opportunity to make great Star Wars stories that honor George Lucas's vision, but also incorporates the greatness of Legends. Thanks again for watching, and as always, stay nerdy, my friends.